All right, gang, going to have to revamp a little bit there. Instead of doing 21 through 25, I got through problem 21. I got into 22, got interrupted again, so I trimmed out the video, and so we're starting with 22. So this will be 22, 23, 24, and 25 if I don't get interrupted again. So time will tell. And you can see when I get into 22 that I've already worked the problem. So let me show you where we end up getting these answers. The first thing you notice here when you look at the data that you're looking at geographic region over the main opportunity, identified main opportunity for the CEO. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead while I'm here and input this into StatCrunch. Now, the null hypothesis format for chi-square is that there's no relationship between the two categorical variables, and the alternative hypothesis is that there is a relationship between the two variables. So again, if you read the problem carefully, you'll see that at the 0.10 level of significance, they are testing to see if there's a relationship between main opportunity and geographic region. So that's the reason these were selected right here. Now the next thing they want is the test statistics. So it's 25.003. Let me show you how we come up with that. Now let me show you something you have to do here that I just noticed. You got to get rid of these total column and total row when you do your chi-square. Otherwise it's going to see these values as like a fifth region. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to delete that column, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to delete this row. So now I've just got the raw data, and I can carry out the chi-square test calculation. Okay? So guys, the way I do that is I go stat, and I go to table, I go contingency, and I go with summary. So I want to highlight the 4 regions. I want it over the identified main opportunity. And guys, I want the chi-square test for independence. Now when I get that, you can see that the value is 25.003, which is the chi-square. You can see that the p-value is 0.015, which is what you get when you round appropriately. And since the p-value is less than the level of significance of 0.10, then we reject the null. So since the p-value is less, the level of significance, we reject the null and find out that there is a relationship between the two. All right, next question, number 23. When performing a chi-square test of independence, contingency table with R rows and C columns, determine the upper tail critical value of the test statistic. All right, gang, here's what, let me write this down so I don't have to go back and forth. So essentially here's what we have, is we have the chi-square distribution, which reminds us of the F distribution, in that the upper tail probability is just calculated by finding the critical value, and then the area to the right of that has to correspond with the alpha. In the t-distribution and the normal distribution, sometimes we divide those by 2. You never do that in the chi-square or the F distribution. So we're looking for the value that has 5% of the area to the right of it. Okay? Now, the degrees of freedom are equal to the rows minus 1 times the columns minus 1. So we have 6 rows, so 6 minus 1 is 5. We have 4 columns, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So guys, we have 15 degrees of freedom. So when we go to the calculator, go to chi-square, and we have 15 degrees of freedom, and we want the upper tail area to be 0.05. So we want to find this critical value. And we get 24.0 24.99579. So we want to go to 3 places, so I get 24.996.